What's good, X? What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about airdrops, and in particular, we're going to talk about Hyperlane. And besides that, I'm going to just mention how to not get distracted by some mundane bullshit airdrops and how you should focus your attention on priority airdrops, just like Hyperlane or Linea, whatever instead of doing some bullshit like test nets like Mantis or whatever. Okay? So first of all, get the shit out of the equation, okay? Like stuff like Mantis, chain. I mean, of course, if you don't have funds at all, it's better to do them than doing nothing. However, you have some funds, you should prioritize some of the protocols, which is like Scroll, Hyperlane, um, Jumper, Bungee. You know what I'm saying? Like proper places, proper protocols where you need some capital. Because if you have some capital, you can use it to your advantage. As in, let's say something costs $5, and let's say they pick out like 10 winners for everybody who buys something for $5. Obviously, it's going to get diluted compared to like something that costs $100, and they're going to say, okay, I'm going to pick top 10 people. You see what I'm saying, or whatever. That's the whole point. And also, like, if something requires more money, that means it's probably just has more funds. Not always, but if we speak like in a non-strict manner, that's the case. So yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's why you should focus on something that's actually important. So the test nets, get the shit out of here. If you have funds, just you have to ignore them unless you just pick one or two and you don't devote too much time and you just go with it. For example, like every big protocol had testnet phase. So like it makes sense sometimes to just follow one or two. It's fine. But like some people waste too much time on that with like lots of testnets and stuff. And also you have to filter through shit there as well. You have to filter the noise. Like there's so many protocols like testnets that barely have any funding, barely have any innovation, and people still farm them. So that's something that I wanted to say. So scroll, um, Hyperlane, like Sora, I think Linea is could be also good for this time. And what else is there? Base, of course. Base. Well, I read things they're not going to release a token, but they eventually going to release a token. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of when. So okay, now enough of the rant on the general airdrops. And yeah, also one more thing. Please be careful who you watch on YouTube or follow on X. There are lots of attention farmers. They literally fight for attention. They're going to post any bullshit on out there. You should ignore them or you should filter out. You should be really careful and consider what they say. So why I'm choosing Hyperlane? So Hyperlane had a funding of 17.5 million, and they're actually innovative. Like, you know what they do? You can literally bridge from EVM to like osmosis, like Cosmos, like Tia, whatsoever. Also, you can do EVM to Solana. You can do back and forth as well. So that's really like innovative, you know? Like I haven't used like CEX, like centralized exchange because of this. Like when I want to transfer my TIA, like literally it's a use case. It's not like you're farming. Like is this actually useful, you know? Now, so for Hyperlane, all you have to do is you need to be consistent, of course, and you do it over some months. And I'm going to tell you what to do. So first of all, you go to usenexus.org. This is literally like, Stargate on layer zero, literally the same shit. So what you do is you just go in here, you just bridge some funds from TIA to Neutron. And also one more thing is um, you need to like actually bridge substantial amount because like no matter what, you're still gonna pay same gas fees and like interoperability, let's say protocols like this they actually pay the most attention to your volume. They don't care. I mean, well, of course, they care about your amount of transactions and how many unique days you did, but eventually the main criteria is volume. So just forget everything else. Don't bridge over like $6. Bridge over like you better bridge at least 100, I would say. because you can't spam it as well and do it over time. Your goal, in my opinion, should be to have like 10,000 in volume, but also let's say 2,000 should be enough to qualify for a minimum allocation. Okay, so now what we do here. So you can either go to directly to use Nexus and you can do can bridge from Celestia, let's say like 25 Celestia, whatever, which is like more than 300 bucks. Whatever, you just bridge over to Neutron. Then you're gonna get this money on Neutron. And what you do is you're gonna have in Neutron, you're gonna have something called TIA N. You're gonna bridge it over to either Arbitrum or Manta. Okay, one or the other. So once you do this and you transfer your money there, um, then you can transfer this Arbitrum back to Neutron in our whatever in Arbitrum. However, don't spam it. What I mean by this is don't do like 15 transactions a day. I would say just go, okay, Tia to Neutron, wait for a few days. Like I do 48 hours personally sometimes, or whatever, 10 days, 2 weeks, 1 week, whatever. Then, um, after you do Celestia to Neutron, and then you do Neutron to Arbitrum with some gaps, then what you do is, first of all, in Tia, actually, you can actually swap this TIN to like anything like like ETH. So while you transfer it to your Arbitrum, you can use those transferred TIA to like make some volume out of their protocols like Base. Um, what else is there? Scroll. You know what I'm saying? It can then bridge obviously from Arbitrum, maybe with Arbiter Finance to Scroll or something else, and literally can farm it. Also, like that's smart way to allocate your money. You don't let it sit as much as possible. You should move it basically. Like lazy money doesn't really work. That was one way to do it. Another way to do it is this is even better. Well, it depends well on your like funds and stuff, or like where your money is. You can also do like more killer version as well. So what you do is actually on Trader Joe you can swap this TIN, which is basically like kind of like wrapped TIA, similar to like similar concept like wrapped Ethereum and wrapped uh, wrapped Ethereum and Ethereum, for example. So once you have this TIN on your Arbitrum, you can actually do one thing. You can actually swap it to ETH. Let's say swap it to ETH, whatever you want to use. Then you bridge it. So you can bridge that to, let's say, BNB, and then from BNB you can bridge that, let's say USDT, whatever, or USDC into your um yeah, into let's say base. And yeah, basically what you can do at the end is you can um at this rate just use jumper exchange, and then you can swap your ETH to NTIA once again. So what you could do is technically you could use that fund that you sent to Arbitrum or Manta, whatever, then make some transactions, let's say on base, whatever. Make sure you use like something like Jumper Exchange to bridge, let's say between Arbitrum and base, or like Bungee, because that way you can also qualify for them. Let's say a few days, you just have it for like 6 days, and you do like 3 transactions on base and 1 transaction or whatever, like Arbitrum or two, whatever. So potentially, what you have done is you have qualified for base, you have qualified for Jumper, you have qualified for Bungee, we have qualified for Hyperlane as well because it's involved. One final step is at some point you need to basically transfer your TIN back to Celestia. So you need to pretty much convert your ETH or whatever USDT to TIN. So what you do at the end is you go to Trader Joe and just swap it to TIN. As simple as that. And once you do that, then you can go on the Hyperlane again, bridge this whatever amount of TIN you have back to the game, back to the your neutron. Okay, so this is for, let's say, this bridge. Now we'll also have like Nautilus bridge. So here, what you could potentially do is, well, obviously you can get this Z back thing, and you can transfer it to Solana, and then on Solana and Jupiter, you can swap it and make also you can do some. I don't farm with Solana, but you can also farm it there, and then you can bridge it back to Binance. But what could also do is if you have some BNB, whatever. Oh, let's say you have money on um, Scroll. So you just make some transactions. Put the money on Binance, BNB chain. You just jumper, or if it's not possible, you can just swap it. You can bridge it to let's say Base first with Arbiter Finance, and then you can bridge from uh, Binance to for Base to Binance. Get some the CBC tokens, which is on Pancake Swap, like here. You can find it. And once you do that, basically you can just bridge it to Solana and then maybe farm there, maybe just let it be, and then bridge back. The other thing you could do is injective. So what you could do is you can transfer from injective to NEVM, and you can do this in two ways. You can either go to your Kepler wallet, like this, go to Kepler wallet. Then what you could do is, for example, swap your TIA or whatever you have to ING. Then you go to this website, and what you do is just bridge that over to NEVM. And unfortunately, on NEVM, there is nothing to do, like literally. So you just maybe wait a couple of days or maybe wait like a day or something because there's literally nothing to do. Then you bridge it back to your um, Capital wallet. This is another thing you could do. And the final thing I want to talk about is this super form. So if you want to do this, you have to actually, I mean, this one actually uses layer zero and also uses Hyperlane. So what you could do is, first of all, you need to get this thing done, because you need to get this Superform quest done, basically. So if you can see, uh, yeah, you need to do this quest. Once you do this, you're eligible to make some sort of transactions on their website. This is good because like this one uses Base, for example, this Aloe one. You have to kind of first of all, you can make your own research on the super scan down below. But once you do, like this is what I've chosen for so far, like Aloe. I haven't used it yet, but like basically this one uses Base, Arbitrum, and yeah, Hyperlane Bridge. And I think also Layer Zero. Yes, Layer Zero as well. So basically, you just deposit some money. It's normal, like supplies liquidity kind of thing, and it costs you like $5, I think. So like also make it substantial, or at least do it just once, just for having like diversified like transactions. So okay, that's it for most of the things you can do. One thing is obviously you have to do this for months. You can't just do it for a week and then start begging, oh, where's my airdrop? You have to be consistent, and you have to have substantial amount of funds to funnel through. So what do I mean by this? You don't actually need to invest and let it sit there, but like you need like capital, let's say 200 at least, 100, $300 to have. So you can bridge enough, let's say in next few months, that I would say the goal should be 10K, that you have 10K at the end. So that's one thing. One more thing is when you bridge from Neutron to EVM, that will going to cost you a little bit more extra. I think 0.27 TIA tokens, or it's either from TIA to Neutron. You're going to see it, it says there. So that's one more thing. But yeah, besides that, this is, I would say, one of the best things you can do. It's one of the best things to farm. Because first of all, it's almost impossible for bots to automate this, because it's way harder to automate this operation than it is to, like, for example, doing some normal transactions. So yeah, that's it. So once again, guys, do not get distracted by this. Lots of YouTubers or ex posters, their goal is to farm you by attention. And what you should do is filter through that shit and like find something that's actually valuable. So some proper protocols, which is not super diluted, or if it's diluted, then it has massive funding. And then yeah, do it. So That's it for now and hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.